Hey there, happy day 1085 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of real business to the online world of business. And just kind of sharing what I've learned, the lessons that I'm learning along the way, the things that have knocked me over and not just knocked me over and stumble, have caused me to stumble or trip, but things that have absolutely positively thrown me off track for, you know, long periods of time, like maybe even months. I'd say my first year online was the rockiest in terms of not knowing what direction I wanted to go, not knowing what I should do, being uh, filled with doubts and wondering if this was what I really wanted to do, and then getting pulled into learning all kinds of different things called shiny object syndrome. I never knew what that was called before I came online. It's interesting. I've learned a whole new vocabulary, a whole new way of thinking about and seeing different things since I've moved from the offline world to the online world. It's really interesting. So today in Supersize Your Business, I have a Supersize Your Business group and page where I talk about business topics and business things. And every day I started doing it as I was moving and transitioning. But now I think it's been, I'm kind of afraid to look, but I think it's been 685 days at least. So it's been longer than that because I didn't start counting right off the bat. But today was day 685, and I'm doing like 100 days of Proverbs because it just felt like starting 2021. It's like, geez, we need to go back to some of the lessons that people have learned and been thinking about for hundreds of years. So today was the early bird catches the worm. And it turns out I've actually talked about this particular idiom on about day 149, April 22nd, 2019, I think. So I actually did Google and go back and find that on my YouTube, and I'm sure it's on my Facebook and other accounts as well. But I found that video and then watched it and kind of laughed at myself because I very rarely go back and watch my own videos. It's embarrassing for all of us, and I know that if I edited my videos or if I went back and watched them, I would never make another video ever again because I would talk myself out of it. But since I don't do that, guess what? I still show up every day and I just do my videos. And this is the one that I talk about my journey. What is my journey? What's working? What's not? And I'm going to admit that 2021 so far has really frustrated me. And I think it's not me so much in what I'm doing as just the environment and all the negativity and all the stuff that's going on, all the negative energy in the world. And I'm looking personally for ways to just jump past that and continue to move forward toward the goals and objectives and the things that I want to create in the world. And we need to do that despite what's going on around us. It doesn't matter it really doesn't matter what's going on in most parts of the world with respect to what a little grandma in Wisconsin, is doing with respect to my life and my business and my showing up every day. So to let any of that, frustrate me or put me off track or suck me in, so to speak, because that's what it does. It sucks us in and takes away our energy and our attention on the things that we want to pay attention to. So I'm kind of picking myself up by my bootstraps today and saying, okay, enough of this nonsense. Keep moving in the direction you're going, and any of the nonsense that's going on in the world, just let it go because it doesn't really have to impact me unless I decide that I'm going to let it impact me. Yesterday, had a super fun experience. There's something called Nature Illuminated at the Minnesota Zoo, and it's actually a drive-through exhibit where they've done giant blow-ups of different kinds of animals, and I took a ton of pictures at that because it was so fun. It was so fun. We went with my son, my daughter, my son-in-law, and my granddaughter, and then my daughter's pregnant, so my other granddaughter, who will be here in February. We went to that, and it was really fun. It was just different and fun. It reminded me of the time we went through a drive-through nativity. My sisters and I went through a drive-through nativity a couple of years ago with live animals and people dressed in costumes, and it was just fantastic. So sometimes it's just fun to experience different things. And COVID, as frustrating as a lot of us have been with the activities and the things we can't do, if we look for new and different things that we can do, we can have just as cool an experience as some of the other things that we've done in the past. Now, I personally think it was an incredibly positive way to pivot and do something at a time when things are closed, at least in Minnesota. The zoo's been closed probably for months. And it's winter, so it's a great thing to do in the winter time. You can stay in your nice, cozy, warm car with your hot chocolate or your coffee and your snacks. We actually had snacks and like we were going to a movie or something, and it was just really fun. They had the audio that talked about the animals and talked about the exhibits as you went through. So it was really just an overall grade A fun experience. Tonight's actually the last night, and so that's interesting. But my daughter had seen a billboard for it, and I was so glad that she did and told us about it, because it was definitely a fun thing for the family to go and do. So the early bird catches a worm was my idiom today, and it got me to thinking about routines and rituals and habits and morning routines. And normally I am doing a challenge for other people. And when I do a challenge for other people, I do it right along with them. And it keeps me moving forward in a positive direction and making progress toward the things that I want. And I thought since I ended December 31st with the fifth 30 plus day get up and go challenge from 2020, because that was my way to keep moving forward in 2020. I thought I would take the month of January off. And I'm finding that I wish I hadn't, because I love the structure that it adds to my life by setting up and doing that every single day. So I don't know if I can hold off till February 1st. I was planning on doing it again on February 1st. It might have to start sooner than that. We'll see how the next few days go, whether I decide to pull the plug and just say, okay, I'm not starting February 1st, or maybe I'll just start doing some preliminary days leading up to it like I've done in the past. Last year, I found that I didn't like the downtime in between either, so I still would do a video every day of a lesson learned or a tool or something that I've learned in my lots of years of trial and error and business experience in a bunch of different businesses and industries. And that was fun too. So maybe I'll just start doing that again every day, just as a positive piece of information that I am, again, not only sharing, but that I am learning and focusing and applying again in my life. I started doing in 2020 the tool thing, because I realized that I was pulling and using in my own life during COVID-19 and all the changes and challenges that were associated with that, tools and things that I had not used in, like, some of them a decade or more. Things like the Lifeline exercise. I hadn't even thought about the Lifeline exercise since probably 2010, 2011. So it was a good one to pull back out and use in 2020 to keep moving forward in different aspects of my life. I'm also doing this year for 2021. Last year was do one fun thing every day from a little journal book like this, but it was yellow that said do one fun thing every day. This year, I'm doing do one thing every day that centers you. Why? Because 2021 is proving to be, and maybe that's why a lot of this, I feel like this is coming up, is I'm doing this, and I'm also doing Lynn Grabhorn's Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting playbook. And it's an awesome book of exercises and tools and actions to take and activities to do to get to know yourself better. And I started it last year as part of the first Get Up and Go challenge. And I thought, oh, last time I did this, it took me over a year. But this time I'll just whiz right through it. And lo and behold, surprise to me, I'm not whizzing right through it. It'll be a year. I bet I'll be happy if I have it done by April again. But there's such great, wonderful exercises, and I learned so much about myself and about what works and what doesn't work for me, that it's worth doing and taking the time and devoting the time and energy that it takes to do it. I just do a little bit every day, and some exercises take me several days to do. Because I'm not rushing through them. I'm not going to cheat myself by rushing through them. Could I have gotten through the whole book in probably a month and just whizzed through the exercises and put a couple little examples and half-heartedly done it? Absolutely, positively. Would that have met my commitment to myself to do the whole book again? Absolutely. Would I have felt good about it? Nah, probably not. It's like we know when we put forth a half-ass effort of anything. We know when we're doing the minimum to get by. We know when we're doing and trying and working to create our best and put our best foot forward and put our best effort into something or not. And so we can fool other people some of the time, but we can never really fool ourselves. So I decided that I'm taking the time that I want to devote to making that activity worthwhile. So today was day 17. It's the 17th, day 17 of doing one fun thing. I keep saying that. Do one thing every day that centers you. It was the 17th day of that. And we talked about the people that we associate with. And we want to associate with people that are likely to improve us, not hang out with people that are likely to drag us down with them. And guess what? As human beings, we hang out with both, but we get to choose who and what we're going to do, who and what we're going to listen to, who and when and where we're going to hang out with different people, and how we're going to have experiences with them. So that's what I'm thinking about. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I am going to enjoy a quiet Sunday. My granddaughter's gone home now, so I'm just going to, I think it's funny that I did the early bird catches the worm today, and I'm actually doing my videos. Gosh, it must be, it's 11:27 my time. Normally I do them early in the morning. And actually, since my granddaughter went back to school, instead of getting up at 4 every day and doing my content and my video and creating and getting it done by 7-ish or 8, she used to come about 7, so I'd have it done by 7. I didn't want it to go into my time with her. I've actually backed that off, and I've been sleeping in till like 6 o'clock some days. For me, that's like really unusual. So I'm working on getting more sleep this year and taking better care of myself, because I think 2020 was kind of a year of slacking off and not doing all the things that I know are best for me and in my own best interest. And we sometimes, we do that and we can get away with it in the short term, but long term, when we start noticing how it's making us feel, we want to pull back and say, okay, stop, hold the phone. What do I need to do to make myself feel better? What do I need to do every day to move in the direction I want to go, not in the direction that life is just causing me to travel because I'm going with the flow of the stuff that's going on around me. Because sometimes we're not in a great place. We're not in a great situation. And we want to make sure that we're making the best of whatever situation we are in. All right, that's all I have. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below or direct message me. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.